When I see this guy, when I look at the pictures, maybe all of the pictures that I look at are altered. I don't know. When I look at the pictures of Joe Biden, it seemed like his eyes are completely black. Like there's no, you know what I'm saying? Like when you look at this picture right here at the bottom, where it says Biden on Unions, Tesla, and Toyota. When you look at this picture at the bottom and you look into somebody's eyes and their eyes are really, really dark and they're really, really black, what do y'all think about that? What do y'all think about that? You know what? Give me a second. Let me make sure that I'm not really interested in hearing some stuff. Dell, we gonna punish you today. You gonna have to start coming with some better Hey, somebody time out Dell. Dell has never said anything positive, but he's always in the chat. We don't want to ban him. We don't want to ban Dell. We just want to make sure that we time him out to make sure that he understands that you're going to have to give just as much positivity inside of the chat as you give negativity. If the only time that you pop up, Dale, is that you want to say something negative, then we're going to have to make sure that we hold you accountable so that you can contribute just as much positive. You're going to have to be equal on both sides, big dog. Let me share with y'all what Biden got going on out here in these streets. Make sure y'all hit a like for the algorithm, subscribe to the channel, and turn on your notifications.
U.S. President Joe Biden on Thursday backed the United Auto Workers' plans to turn their unionization efforts to carmakers Tesla and Toyota as he sets out to shore up blue-collar support ahead of next year's election.
Wall Street didn't build America. The middle class built America. And unions built the middle class.
Speaking in Belvidere, Illinois, Biden congratulated the UAW and its leader, Shawn Fain, on achieving new deals with Detroit's big three automakers that ended a nearly 45-day strike, saying he wants it for all auto workers.
These deals are game changers, not only for UAW workers, but for all workers in America. Just ask the folks at Toyota, which last week announced it would significantly finally increase wages for their workers. You had no choice. They had no choice because of what you did. You helped everybody.
En route to the event, Biden told reporters that he absolutely supports the UAW's efforts to unionize Tesla and Toyota workers. In response to Biden's remarks, Toyota said it wants to foster positive morale and boost workforce productivity, adding that the decision to unionize is ultimately made by our team members. Tesla did not immediately respond to a request for comment, though what Biden said on Thursday may renew friction between him and CEO Elon Musk, who has made anti-union comments before.
Now, the interesting thing about this is, look, let me tell you what pandering does. I'm going to tell you what pandering does, and this is why this is not good. He's so desperate to get a vote of confidence and get an endorsement by UAW members and their families that he's willing to sever the relationship or upset the very person that he begged. Hold on, wait. I want to be very, very clear because we're going to have to call this exactly what it is. He's advocating for the unionization of Tesla and Toyota as though he works for the company or that he does the things that's in the best interest of the people. Shout out to you for leaving the borders open. And he's advocating for the unionization of Toyota, Tesla, and other plants, right? But just a few months ago, he was calling, according to reports on the internet, he was calling Elon Musk to beg, not ask, beg for Elon Musk to open up their superchargers so that other companies and other automakers could embrace the Tesla supercharger network that was built without any help from the federal government. Any help from the federal government, calling for and asking Elon Musk to embrace opening up their supercharger network in order to push forth his agenda when it comes to their EV deal and an infrastructure deal and a Build Back Better plan and all of these different things. So the same person that you asked for assistance from is the same person that you're advocating against. And you're so desperate to get the endorsement of UAW members that you're willing to throw them under the bus, throw them as such as the people that you're negotiating with behind the scenes in order to get some kind of endorsement from the union over there. I have no problem with any one particular stance that somebody takes. If you are on this side of the aisle, but I'm on this side of the aisle, or if you see this from a business perspective differently than me, I'm okay with that. I believe that conversation is necessary in order for growth. I just like to have the conversation in truth, so I'm cool with that. When I have a difference of opinion from Richard Fain as far as what he think that being educated financially looks like, it's a fundamental disagreement based off of finances, resources, and what we think wealth is supposed to look like. It's a productive discussion that I hope can push forward inside of our communities that inspire people to then start to think about wealth differently. I have no problem with people that have a difference of opinion than me. But what I do have a problem with is people that lie to me. I don't like it when people play both sides of the field. Pick a position, because now that just tells me that A, you a chameleon, and then B, that you may be an op. You may be an op. Remember when they told Cube that they was going to come back and visit him on his brand new deal that he was proposing during the election cycle? And they said, yeah, we going to visit. We going to have this conversation after we win the election. And they never said nothing. They never said nothing. They never revisited it. They never even mentioned it again, but we was just supposed to forget about it. And if it's not for people, because people have such short memories, that's why they keep making all of these social media networks to give y'all smaller clips and smaller clips and smaller clips. Y'all don't remember all of the atrocities that happen against you every single day. And when you forget, you tend to make the same mistake more than once. This guy is so desperate that he's willing to throw the very ones that he asked for help from under the bus in order to make sure that he gets the endorsement that they don't even really care about giving him an endorsement about of the UAW so that he can remain in office. Now tell me that's a person that's telling y'all the truth and is working on your behalf and working on your best interests.
Meanwhile, Biden also made sure to remind the auto workers of his long history supporting unions and pointed out how Republican presidential frontrunner Donald Trump visited a non-union factory in Michigan in September during the massive UAW strike. The UAW has yet to endorse Biden, unlike most other labor organizations, although labor leaders and Democratic officials say that endorsement is expected after the union's members approve their tentative contract deals with the Big Three. The agreements dramatically raise salaries for auto workers and restricts use of lower-paid temporary workers.
Now, on the other end of the spectrum, while he's over here petitioning for that, both Democrats and Republicans are, what are they doing? About to face another government shutdown. Let me just play the video. I'm going to give you all my thoughts. I'm about to drop the link inside of the chat for y'all.
Well, the U.S. is just about 1 week away from a potential government shutdown.
But a plan to avert this costly closure of federal agencies still eludes lawmakers. Speaker Mike Johnson says House Republicans want to keep the lights on in Washington, but the newly elected House leader has yet to announce a plan to accomplish this.
The shutdown deadline is just 8 days away now. A full or even a partial closure could cost the U.S. economy billions of dollars. CBS News congressional correspondent Nicole Killian joins us now from Capitol Hill. Hey there, Nicole. So When should we actually expect Speaker Johnson to unveil a plan to keep the government open?
I mean, look, that's the big question here on Capitol Hill. The speaker said earlier this week that he would do it soon. But as we know, time is of essence, particularly as we get close to that week deadline to the funding. The government, of course, funding due to expire November 17th, which is just 1 week and 1 day away from today. Republicans continue to talk about several different approaches, including a temporary stopgap measure that could include some additional provisions added onto it that might extend funding through January. And then there's this idea of what's called a laddered CR, where House Republicans are discussing a more staggered approach to extend funding for certain appropriations bills on an individualized basis. I asked Minority Leader Hakeem Jeffries about that. Here's his response.
Most members of the House Republican Conference have no idea what a laddered CR means, what it represents, or how it would possibly be implemented, let alone the American people. The notion of a laddered CR is another extreme right-wing policy joyride that is reckless and would only crash and burn the federal government.
The link is in the chat. For anybody that got a question or a disagreement, you are more than welcome to be able to come up to the show and express that. I just dropped the link in the chat, and I pinned it to the top of the chat of YouTube.
It's a
And you do not have to be on camera. If you do not want to be on camera, you could just call in and we could just have that conversation.
So the minority leader has made clear that Democrats, for the most part, are only going to support a clean temporary stopgap measure with no strings attached, to maintain the status quo for a certain period of time. That is something that he says Democrats would support. We do know over in the Senate that Majority Leader Chuck Schumer is trying to tee up a temporary short-term funding bill protectively to try to get the ball moving on this side of the Capitol. But again, it remains to be seen kind of which course of action Congress goes with.
I just had this conversation with y'all a little bit ago, and I told y'all that this was going to happen. Every year, multiple different times of the year, they do a temporary stopgap budget in order to make sure that we keep the government funded for the next month and a half, and then we right back at the same table 7 days, 8 days, 6 days, 5 days, 4 days away. Oh, wait a minute. House speakers, Congress, legislative branches, they all went on vacation because they deserve to be able to spend time with their families too. Furlough workers, oh no, y'all gonna get back pay. Contractors out of a job. Same thing, different day. Same thing, different day. Meanwhile, they campaigning, using Air Force One, flying all over the country, making sure that they get bills, infrastructure deals done, migrants, crisis, no walls being built. Nothing is happening. Shout out to Hot Candy. I appreciate you, baby. Nothing is happening across the board at all. No changes, no updates, no nothing. Just completely fumbling the country. The debt out of control. Wars, they get that junk approved. Funding for wars in the military. They got to make sure that we take care of what's happening over there in Israel and Ukraine and Taiwan for the semiconductor chip shortage. They figure out a way to fund that and take care of business on that. They all come together. They got famous spaces that they over in Washington. I was reading an article. I do a lot of reading when I'm offline. I was reading an article about what was happening over there at special cafes where they come together and get things done behind the scenes and all of that. But we still, same thing. Oh, we may be able to extend it all the way through January. Aren't y'all tired of these geezers that can't figure out how to tell they right from they left? They keep falling up and down the stairs. We don't even know if they real people. Y'all need to go and watch The Manchurian Candidate, because I'm starting to think that this can't be real. This cannot be real. We cannot have some of the smartest, wisest, graduated from the best universities in the world. making such bad decisions on a regular basis. No way that this is real. Impossible. Absolutely, positively impossible. No way that this is real. I just can't believe it. It just doesn't seem like it's something real. Like, aren't y'all tired of the same thing over and over again for them to give you the same pitches? Hey, we're for the union. We're for or against abortion rights. Make sure that we get our diversity, equity, and inclusion. More families need more money. Inflation is too high. I'm blaming it on Congress. I'm blaming it on the president. So nobody can figure out what's going on, and everybody is pivoting, but everybody's still getting their paychecks, and all of your Congress members and House of Representatives eventually get rich. Y'all not tired yet? Y'all not trying to figure it out? Y'all not tired of being misunderstood? Keep voting the same way every single time, every single year, every single election? Nothing changes? Voting the same way no matter what? Interesting.